as well, Hot Country Hits Facebook page, and as well our YouTube channel. You can listen to this on your smart devices like your Amazon Alexa, your Google Home, and of course over both frequencies, 99.9 and 102.7. In the studio with us this morning, Jeff Mount, Superintendent of Schools for Mason County Central. Good morning to you, sir. Thanks for coming in.
It's always a pleasure, and this is a neat event coming up a week from tomorrow, and so I'm excited. You're helping to promote this because we're getting the party back.
Yeah, that's the big story. Because if I'm right, we had COVID, right? That paused things everywhere, and then there was the transition to an online-only auction. And that was still last year, you still did the online auction, right?
Correct, we did, yes.
Okay. And you've, I'll say the word, not in a negative way, but you maybe had heard a little bit of pressure of, hey, we need to get people back in person, right?
Yeah, forever. We really, we go back to in 2020, we were the last party before the shutdown.
Yeah.
The weekend before, we had a great party. It was an awesome event at the Greystone. We'll be back next week, Saturday. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we all know what happened. And then we ran 3 years of online auction, and they were successful, but they're just not the same. We want people together and have a good time. As you know, it's the community auction, Unity.
Yeah.
And people sitting at home on their laptops is not unity in our definition. So getting people back together and having the party again was, I will say, it was more than pressure. It was high demand. I mean, big time. And we listened, and we certainly want it too.
Well, take us through it.
Sure.
We know the date, March 2nd, 6 o'clock.
Yep.
The Greystone, if people don't know, that's right next to the Holiday Inn, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And this event, it's if somebody hasn't experienced it before, what can they experience there?
So you can expect anywhere from 300 to 400 items. We always say there's something for everybody there. There's there's tools. There's outdoor a lot of outdoor enthusiasts like it. There's a lot of that there. There's high-end handbags. I'm sorry. There's grills. There's smokers. There's just something for everybody. And but you know what? There's folks that come there. They never even put a bid in. They're there for the party. You know, because there's also really, really good appetizers provided by Mason County Central Food Service. Then we also have drinks, adult beverages. What you need, all for that same price for $35 to get in the door. Okay. And, so we have a lot of folks that just show up. I mean, they get a bid number. They never even put it down on anything. They don't, raise their hand in an untimely manner. But, Joe Johnson is our auctioneer, and he is incredible. He just rolls through it. He gets it. It's not a focused auction. It is a fun auction. So,
that's cool.
If that makes any sense to you.
Absolutely. Well, and speaking of that, we have businesses and organizations that have donated constantly. I was looking at some of the updates, and you are just filling the West Shore Bank location there in Scottville with all these items.
Yeah, I was just in there yesterday, and there's a lot of the items are on display in there. Not all of them, but a good portion of them. And the bigger items, the bulkier items are there. And so if you want to get in there and kind of get a first glance look at some of those things that you might be interested in, West Shore Bank in Scottville is open for business for that. And so we had some pictures taken from the Life Daily News and Mason County Press yesterday to push that out at the bank. And it's just, you're going to see a lot of really, really neat stuff. Again, we're so looking forward to getting people back together, and it's going to be great. Oh, by the way, it is Pirates of the Caribbean is the theme.
Yes. Okay.
So you can dress the theme. We usually have some prizes for, best dressed and things. I do have an outfit.
Okay.
It's not Jack Sparrow quality, but I will dress the theme, and have a good time.
Do you have the eye patch? Do you have at least that?
I do not have an eye patch.
Right,
I'm afraid I don't see well enough in two eyes, let alone to cover one of them might be a problem.
All right. Well, if you're just joining us, we're talking with Jeff Mount, Superintendent of Schools for Mason County Central. Let's talk about a couple things. Is there an opportunity for people to purchase tickets early? or do you just buy them at the door? That's the first question I have.
Sure.
And then the second part is, what does all these funds go for? What is the end result?
Great questions. First off, the $35 tickets you can get those at the Light and Chamber, the Smith and Eddy Insurance, West Shore Bank in Scottville, and I do have some at the Central Business Office. Okay. I don't have a lot of them. They're usually out to those businesses for sale. A lot of folks do wait, just buy them at the door, which is fine. But if you want to speed up the process of coming in, get them ahead of time. That'll help us too.
Yeah.
But,
you'll know your numbers a little bit.
And you'll get in the door quick and get a seat. Because a lot of times, people like to have a table and sit and enjoy their cocktails and their hors d'oeuvres. But as far as where the proceeds go, so if you think of everything's kid oriented. So whether it's to enhance what's happening in the classroom, in the past it's been heavy technology, but in recent years, I'll say the last 5 years, it really hasn't, because we've really enhanced that through the school system. Yeah. But if a teacher had some novelty thing, right, they wanted to try out. Okay. And what's happened is we've had that. So the foundation will pilot that, in essence, buy a smart board, right, for a couple classrooms, and the teachers try it out, they test drive it, and they like it. Oh my gosh! Well, guess what? Then the district buys them for everybody, right? Or those who need it or want it. The other things are scholarship. That's a really big thing. Every spring we give scholarship to our graduating class, those that are going off to four-year universities and beyond, and even here West Shore Community College. So really, those are our big ones. Our teacher mini projects that are helping enhance their classrooms. Kids projects, post prom. We do an art gallery that we sponsor. So a lot of these enhanced around the district things, and the foundation's been around for I think 35 years now. Okay, and it has done nothing but raise more and more money each year. And this is one of the big. Obviously, this is the 29th year for this one. I've been doing it a long time. We did not have a break during COVID. We pulled it off, but it was not the same.
Well, and to have this auction go for that long, it says a lot about it. It says a lot about, I would assume, the organizers, and I'm hoping that you can give a shout out to them. What's that like?
I can tell you. Thanks for bringing that up. It is a core group of folks, and then a lot of people on the outside. But I'm going to give a shout out to Gary Anderson. He is like the glue. Marcy McCloskey is incredible. Carla Mayer, Nancy Sanford. That's the core group that just really works hard. Jeannie Briggs, John Hackey. We have a small group. And then we reach out and we get little people. That doesn't sound right. We get a few others to help on the periphery, right? Yeah. So they may not be there with all the organization, but they're there to do some of the heavy lifting. For instance, all those items at West Shore Bank aren't going to get to the Greystone by themselves. So next Friday, my admin team, we are bringing our trucks, loading them up, and taking them to the Greystone. We get them in there, and we start the setup process on Friday.
That's cool. All right. Well, we're looking forward to this. Just as a recap, it's March 2nd. Starts at 6 p.m. Is there, between arrival at 6 p.m. and the auction, is there kind of a gap there where people are kind of networking, mingling a little bit? Do we know what time the auction part of it starts there?
So, you can really figure the live auction part will start somewhere around 7. Okay. The silent auction is pretty much going from the moment you walk in the door. Okay. So we'll have 70 live auction items around there. So that kind of goes through the evening. We chunk it, into 10 to 15 items, 3 or 4 times. Yep. And then, but the live auctions, silent auction is going pretty much the whole time. And then we'll announce we're going to shut down table 5, in 5 minutes and stuff. And then there's the mad rush to the table, and everybody's getting in their last second bids, hoping to get it. So that happens throughout the evening, and eventually shut those down, and the live auction finishes up, and we're usually done by 10 o'clock, as it would be the latest, and for doing actual live auction stuff. But we've had some nights that have gone a little bit later and maybe a little earlier, but just depends on the night. And we always say with an auction, it just takes two to tango, right? You just need two people that want that item, and that number goes up, because it really is about raising money. There is some value sometimes, but what we find is a lot of folks, they're willing to pay retail price because they know it's going for a good cause.
True. Absolutely. Last question before we wrap up. If somebody wants to be a part of it, from donating items still, is there a cutoff period? Have we reached that already?
We don't cut it off. Okay. There's a little that goes into it, but we've had things dropped off an hour before.
Okay.
Now we'd sure like them earlier, and really by the end of the day, Friday would be awesome. Okay. And if you have it on Friday and you want to just bring it to the Greystone, whatever item it is, we'll gladly take it, and we can get it clerked and be ready to go. Okay. Saturday morning is getting a little late, but we'll take it, and so, and with a lot of appreciation too. But we have so many folks, as you mentioned, that have given, our sponsors that are underwriting items, and there's too many to list today, but that day we will have a full list of our sponsors, and we'll hit that the week after, all the sponsors that helped us pull this event off.
All right. Well, sounds like it's going to be another fun event. It's the CommUNITY auction, bringing unity together and helping support the Mason County Central Schools there. March 2nd, 6 p.m. at the Greystone, right next to the Holiday Inn. If people want to find more information, MCC's Facebook, I know you posted just the other day there, and that's kind of the starting point. Or if they want to connect with you, just call the Central Business Office, I would assume,
that's
right?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Jeff, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
We very much appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks for being here. It is 8:05, 5 minutes after the hour. Let's break for